Welcome back to Red Rising. This week, we discuss part 1 of the first book, from the captivating first line to a maybe surprising death. Have we mentioned there would be spoilers? We'll do a deep dive into the groundwork for all the heartbreak and brutality to come. We reflect on the first time we read the series, what it was that pulled us in, and how this part totally hits different on the reread. Nick tries to tell us how EO is actually overrated. Okay, Nick. Liz shows us all the pieces that make up Darrow. Craig reminds us that the vast majority of these characters are in fact children. And I officially kick off my personal passion project, Narrow Watch, TM. We get into the parallels with other classic sci-fi works and talk about how this is entirely relevant to current life. Unfortunately. Break the chains. Pierce Brown, come on to the podcast. Oh, and just a reminder, the following conversation contains major spoilers for Pierce Brown's first Red Rising trilogy. That's Red Rising all the way to Morningstar. The series also includes very adult content, which can include violence, sexual violence, and genocide. Please take care while listening. Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. Current events taking over the pod. I thought you were talking about the government shutdown.
No, this was
that's
for,
another thing.
That's another thing shutting down. Yeah,
Also on the
okay,
30th.
happy.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Well, we are
All right,
recording this
it's shutting
episode.
down tomorrow.
Now it's going, and we're talking about part 1.
Part
yeah.
one. Part
Did
one.
anyone take notes?
I took notes,
I
Oh,
took notes.
okay.
and they're in
I have
the
a
episode
question.
notes episode.
Oh, way to go, bud. I have like a potential opening question for the group that's like related but more meta, which is, oh my God, look at all these notes, bud.
Mhm.
We don't
Too
have time
many?
for my opening question.
No,
I
let's
was
hear
just
it.
wondering
Yeah,
if
let's hear
you
it.
guys remember the first time you read this and how you felt about it and what you were thinking about it before we like get into the plot.
I want to hear Nick, because Nick is the
The originator.
inception point for all of us.
So, I mean, it actually came from Alex. She was the one that read it first.
Why isn't
So-
Alex on the pod?
Once again, she's a phantom over our podcast.
I don't believe she's real.
I feel like the first time I read this was probably during the first Trump presidency. So it struck a chord, right? But especially, I guess since we're talking about part 1, I do not like part 1. I understand it. I think it sets a lot of groundwork, and I think in retrospect it's really important. But man, did I want to drop it before you get to the end of it. And then you're hooked, or at least for me, I was hooked right at the end of part 1.
I remember
That's-
being like confused and lost, and
Yeah.
you guys told me like you got to hang on.
Because it's
You and
the
Alex.
entire, the first part is, I think this is one of the, I don't know, this might be an overstatement, but one of the few books where that first part is nothing like anything else in the series, because it is so different. I mean, that's the point, right? But
Yeah.
on that note, I do want to say, overall, part 1, not a huge fan of. I understand it. I think it's incredibly important for the backstory, for setting everything up. But that first line of the entire thing, I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war, is hands down one of my favorite opening lines in anything.
Is
I've
that an
ever
opening
read.
line? I thought the first line was, the first thing you need to know about me is I am
think-
my father's
yeah.
son.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. I think it's the prologue, because the prologue
there's
is...
I
Yeah,
have
is
the
there a
physical
prologue?
book. I can grab it. It's just
I have it right
Yeah.
here. The
Someone has it.
prologue, it opens with acknowledgments and then a prologue without a title. And it said, I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war.
Yeah.
Then they have the part 1 with they have a little like proverb style thing. And then they go into the first thing you should know about me is I'm my father's son. So you're both
So
right.
it's a 1-2 punch right there, that they're both so great. But I also just got, I guess a first trilogy spoiler warning. I just got to the part in Morningstar where that quote comes up again. And it's so great, like the way he ties it back in.
Craig or Liz, do you guys remember the first time you read it and what you thought?
When did you introduce it to me, Sam? Were those in the Dinfo days?
When we worked
Dinf.
together?
Yeah.
No, I think I remember telling you over the phone, which means we were either already pandy
Oh, in the pandy.
style, yeah, or it was after. Because we didn't know we each liked books so much back when we worked together, I think. So we didn't
I
really
think that's right.
do a lot of book talk.
That is true. I fell in love with the book immediately. I
You were
love
in.
the sort of there's so much symbolism. You get a real sense of like pace and character development in part 1. However, I loved it. What I say to other people when I introduce it to them is you have to get through part 1. So, but I I think there's so many things introduced. So anyway, I'll turn. Liz, do you remember the first time you read it?
I don't. I don't remember the very first time I read it. I do remember that I really got excited. I was very much like Nick, where I got excited about it at the end of part 1, because when you realize, oh, it's not the end. There's going to be more, and it's going to be like really exciting. That I remember. But I remember because I listened to it, and that was also like my very first time like listening to an audiobook, and I think ever, really. So it was just like a lot of new things. But yeah, so I think I got through it. It feels like a long time now, but I don't quite remember all of that. But I remember enjoying it because it was also easy because Craig had introduced it to me. So like I had all these questions for him, and so we would talk about it.
Yeah,
and
we
that
started the
made
voice
it like,
memos.
yeah, and so that made it like more interesting of like, oh my God, what's happening? And Craig is like, I'm not gonna tell you, but it's like, yeah.
Which is surprising because I love a spoiler. Spoiler alert.
It might be smart just for those listening who haven't read in a while, because you're probably not listening if you haven't read it all, just to like go real quickly over like what part 1 entails. Like It starts with that prologue, which is kind of him talking from the future, presumably. Like he's saying, they think I'm a gold, but I'm a red. None of them will survive. So very ominous.
Spoiler.
Spoiler, none of them will survive. That's Darrow spoiling, so I think it's okay.
Wait, does he really say that right at the beginning? I have no memory of that. I didn't realize he basically tells you what happens right at the beginning.
I don't think he does.
Well,
I think Sam spoiled it.
I mean, I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
Dear
I was
listener.
gonna say she has the book.
Literally, like the pages are here. So it says, gold rules mankind. It doesn't say I'm going to turn into a gold. I guess you're right. But it says, but I am no gold. I am red. He thinks men like me weak. He thinks me dumb, blah, blah, blah. He is wrong. None of them will survive.
Just to jump in there, I think this comes back to why when I first read the prologue, I don't like it. But after having all of it, it's amazing because there's so much that, like, as Craig was saying, is laid in there. Because when you first read that, you're like, oh, like, you don't read it knowing what's happening to him. So you don't realize that he could be, like you said, talking from the future version of him.
And I enjoyed the first part so much on a reread because this is my first reread. And so that was like a lot more interesting to me now. I think then I was like, okay, whatever, bro. It's a little intense.
That's interesting. I don't remember if that's in the audio book. I have no memory of that.
Yeah, I had to when I reread the prologue, I had to go back to the audiobook and re-listen to it. But it is all there because I was like, I don't remember this being a part of it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Good for us. I was just trying to do like a quick recap and we got stuck on literally the first page. Like, we weren't even in part 1 at that point.
Next episode.
I'm shook that you guys could forget the first time you heard Tim Gerard Reynolds say, I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war, because it's the first thing he says.
Tim Gerard Reynolds, come on the podcast. We'd love to have you. All right. So anyway, what happens in part 1?
In part 1, you meet this Darrow guy. You understand what a hell diver is. He's like in the trenches as you're there.
With a claw drill.
Yeah. And
Very
Liz, I know
dexterous.
you also just reread this. So chip in if I skip something. He like burns himself trying to get this like last piece of helium dislodged.
Which is great.
Mark.
The bubble, right?
Like a
The bubble.
gas pocket, yeah.
Because we immediately see that Darrow is brash and he's kind of full of himself and he's confident and arrogant and doesn't respond well to being told what to do.
Yeah. And that he really wants that laurel.
Yeah.
Which
he
they
wants the
introduced the
laurel.
concept of the laurel.
Yeah.
And I think it also, that's where we hear like all the elders are like, right, like, because his uncle and the other guy are like, be patience. And there's this whole like, patience is a virtue. And like all of, it's just kind of like their big thing is like, you have to be patient and you have to like be obedient. Sort of like the theme for the thread.
I highlighted both times when Darrow was like, old Uncle Nerl, old 35-year-old Uncle Nerl.
He's a drunk.
So old. So old at his age of 35.
Yeah, and exactly.
I think I'm 35 too.
But you're not 35
also
in red
ancient.
years.
Maybe I will be in May. Also ancient. It hurt to hear.
Ancient.
Wait, Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Well, I mean, I think that sets up a good point that it's like Reds don't live long, right?
Yeah.
He is ancient because Reds don't live long. And also,
which I love later. Like, I love when he gets to the academy and you're like, this is a 45-year-old man surrounded by 16-year-olds. I love that aspect of this book.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
So other things that are introduced in part 1. Reds have not seen the stars, really.
Right.
They've never, ever seen the stars.
No.
They just live underground.
They have been here for 500 years.
Hundreds of years, yeah.
Yeah. We meet Octavia through the HC.
The HC? I don't know how you guys listen to that. No, it is an HC, and that's...
Oh.
I
like the way Tim Gerard... Tim, don't listen to Sam. And she does this big long quote about how obedience is the highest virtue, right? Mm-hmm. And they are the brave colonizers of the planet that will allow the rest of the species to come to Mars. So that is the lie that we are living with. We, the Reds, are living with.
Well, I guess, because they're like, we are working to help the society and like make it habitable. Like they, I think, are right. Like they're, from their point of view, is very virtuous of them, like all the work that they do.
They think they're in service. Yeah. They're pioneers. They use the word pioneers a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, I guess like the big thing there is, oh, wait, you're not, you're just slaves. Did you guys suspect that at all before before we find it out?
No, I think I was so lost the first time.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, Io brings it up quite a bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's just constant. And then like, I think, part of it is also, I'm not sure if it's just like the reread of it, but you notice that the elders are always more like, like, okay, like, sure. Like whenever the young people are like, fighting for the laurel or saying of how like, this is just like their work is this big thing, right? But it's everyone else just kind of seems to be sort of like in that like, okay.
Yeah, the best is Dago, who's on the Gamma. He's the Gamma Helldiver, smoking a burner, and he's like, "This is you," and it's gone in 1 minute or whatever, right? Gamma always wins.
But that's out of like competition. I do want to get to Io though. So I don't
think so.
Yeah.
Wait, go back. You don't think he said this is you because you're like you burn fast and hot. You're gonna die.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. But Liz is talking about the reality of who's going to win the laurel.
Right, because I think he already knew that he was going, because Darrow
going to win the laurel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I think it also just, I don't know, to me, it felt like he knew more than like Darrow knew, right? Because he even says to him, like, Darrow's like a smart guy, like when all of them were getting excited about, the laurel, but he says like, Darrow's something along the lines of like, Darrow's smart. He knows that it doesn't truly matter. Like Gamma will still take it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, does he know more?
This is also a good one to stop on too, because it's another great moment of foreshadowing. Like you're talking about, he could just be talking about the competition, or just the laurel, or you could look at it as this is the progression of Darrow. He has to prevent himself from being that burner, from burning out the entire way through. And we see that, and we see him not really work. He kind of works on that all the way up until you get to Morningstar. Like that's kind of who he is and who he has to like try not to be in a way.
Right? That rage in him.
Yeah. Spoiler: Darrow lives past part 1 of this book.
But he doesn't win the laurel, so that happens, and then he's all upset about it. And then he and Io sneak through the little tubes and go out to a special like
through the silk spider into
the garden.
The garden, which is just a bubble that allows them to see the stars, which is the first time.
Yeah,
and then they do something out there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of detail.
Not a lot of detail.
Well, his dexterous fingers.
I mean, we could... Liz, coming in hot. Pierce, we had a previous episode where we recorded some spoilers, which we cannot speak about here. But one of the topics is, where are all the sex scenes?
I think we did that last episode. Yeah, we did that.
Episode 0?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was the one with Nick in it.
We're going to keep bringing it up.
It's not the last time you'll hear it.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a good opportunity that maybe we missed. Pierce.
Yeah.
You know?
As an
His
aside,
dexterous
it's not an
fingers.
uncommon trope for a podcast to be like, our one listener, like wink, wink. It
I know.
is uncommon for the
Our one
hubris to
listener
think
to be
that one
Pierce
listener
Brown.
Is Pierce
is the
Brown?
author of the series that you were
That's so
covering.
funny. This is just for us.
We just think
So-
very highly of ourselves, you know? We're like Darrow.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
No, that's
so EO. I
Oh,
want to
EO.
hear thoughts and opinions on EO.
Love her.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I don't understand how she knows all that she knows. I wish that I know that she talked about her mother, like one of the, what are their silver people? No, not silver. What color are they? The guards.
The Greys.
Oh,
The
the Greys.
Yeah, so I know she mentioned like one of the Greys like took a fancy to her mother and kind of helped her along. And her mother told her about like the Diomedes star or something like that. And I wish they could have explained more how she knew like all the things that she knew, because she was like, we are slaves. Like, did she just like know that, or was she just saying it because of she's observant of all of that, all the things that are happening around them?
I totally
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I think
I
she's
do
just
like her,
observant.
though.
All right, I'll have the hot take. I think EO is overrated.
Whoa. Whoa.
This is why I wanted this discussion, because I think I thought that
Yeah.
prior to my reread, and now that I've reread it, I feel a little more in the middle. Go
And
ahead.
I'm the opposite. On my first
Okay.
read, I loved her. And with my rereads, I'm like, she, I think, is kind of overrated. And I think it comes back to the whole, is it harder to live for this or to die for it? And I mean, we can say as people who are not dying for things, right? I don't think she actually knows the full extent of everything. She just knows there is a lie, there is more to the world than what they know, and that's worth fighting for. And yeah, that's great. That's really admirable. And she doesn't have a clue what she's getting Darrow into, but she's getting him into it. And I think she knows it.
She also
So-
says something like, this is a paraphrase because I couldn't find it after I was listening. Your father had a dream, but not something to make it real. Like, she really comes
Right.
down on his dad for doing like a dance version of a protest. And I'm wondering how her situation is different than that.
And
Yeah. I mean, she does tell Darrow that he's not made to be a martyr. So maybe she felt that she could
She
be
was.
a martyr to push him to become more, right? Like, she's always like, live for more. But she does go in on his father. Like, I don't know what, I guess that's, and he, I guess, also like questioned that a lot. Like, what do you want? Because if his father couldn't have fought the people, like, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. And she didn't know about Ares, I don't think. So
No, it doesn't seem like
see-
it seems like Neryl's the guy who had the connection.
Uncle Narrow.
And I think that's where my biggest gripe with EO comes in, is she didn't know about the Sons of Ares, right? So if you look at it, what she's saying is, oh, she's saying your father didn't know what to do, he just killed himself. And then she does the same. And by all accounts, Darrow does the same, right?
Yeah.
If it weren't for the Sons of Ares, if it weren't for Uncle Neryl, Darrow would have also done the same exact thing. So, like, what was the point of any of that?
Well, I think that's the point, right? Was we read Sons of Ares get lucky that it's Nero Augustus who kills EO,
Yeah.
televised, and makes a big hullabaloo about it.
right.
And then it's great news that Darrow like goes back.
guy
and-
we've been
And
eyeing.
she sings.
yeah.
I think her singing also added a lot to it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I wondered
EO's song.
how much of that, like, if we're just going full blown into plot, like this is real and exists and all planned out, which that's
Right.
a different question altogether. But like, if we're full blown in it, I'm really interested in the dynamic between like the Sons of Ares wanting Darrow, wanting to use EO. Like, what was their plan if he didn't? And then how would they have like, yeah, it just all seems very opportunistic. That like, were they behind a little bit of the stuff with EO? Why, like,
Yeah.
I want to talk in part 2 about why they didn't use EO, because they really over-explain that in the text. But like, why not? So like, I don't know. I find her interesting, and I don't have any answers.
I agree.
Well, I think the other thing that we need to remember is what's that line? Old enough to screw, old enough to crew.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
They're 13 when they got
fair.
married?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
16.
No. They got married 6 months ago from when he was
Okay.
drilling that. So I think like 15 and some change.
You can join the drill crew at 13,
Mhm.
and they're 16 now. So
Yeah.
they're literally
Children.
children. right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're like, why did EO do it? Like, they're both dumb kids.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
that's a great
But-
point.
Oh, well, that was almost a spoiler.
And she did know about Sons of Ares because they all knew them as like a terrorist organization.
Right.
That's true.
On
So
the HC.
on the HC. So
Yeah.
like she might have just been interested in their cause just from a
True.
So anyway,
just
that's her. So she gets captured. They both get captured. Nero, this is where we do Augustus.
Oh, love it.
Can we pause the scene
Yeah.
where they both get captured?
Yes.
For me, for some reason, that feels like something straight out of 1984. Like one of the scenes with Winston and what's
yeah.
her name? Was her name like Julia or something? That love interest with the main character in 1984. That
They're in
whole
the
bubble
trees.
scene. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I loved that imagery. I'm not sure if it was. I have to imagine it was intentional, but I think
Pierce,
that
was that intentional?
Come on the podcast and let us know.
Come on the podcast.
But
Thank
yeah,
you
either
for
way.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think,
Great reference, Nick.
Yeah,
I
that's a great
feel like-
reference. Thanks for elevating us.
Yeah.
I didn't even, I don't think I've, it's been a long time since I read 1984.
Yeah, all of us. We should reread it now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy,
Pretty
shit.
timely.
Oh, my God. All right, so things that are introduced in part 1 that are really important. Sling blade,
Yes.
used
Yep.
for cauterizing limbs. Helium-3,
It'll save your price it'll save your
you
life
for the price of a limb.
Yep.
Gammas, sort of the like interplay between what's Darrow's clan's name?
Lambda.
I always forget
Lambda.
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 All part of
Gamma.
Lycos, right? All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The color system.
But
Reds
you
at
don't
the
really hear about the colors. You hear about reds and
Mhm.
golds and silver.
Grays.
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 Coppers.
Coppers.
I did have a question. Yeah, like they showed the green, but then he's like, the greens have black hair. And I'm like, why aren't they also green?
I want to get into what these people look like because
Yeah.
I have no idea. I
Yeah,
also
it's kinda
forgot about
unclear.
sigils on hands.
I like that.
Yeah.
read this entire series start to finish, didn't realize they had sigils on their hands.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Like right here.
until rereading part 1.
They
Oh, yeah,
literally
interesting.
tell you repeatedly.
Blithely
It is
reading.
a major plot point.
It is a pretty big. Yeah. The Reaper protects the veil.
Reaper.
Which, on that note, I really want this to be a series or a movie or something just to hear that song.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to hear an
I want to hear
adaptation of
Tim
that, yeah.
Gerard Reynolds sing it. Tim, come onto the podcast.
Well, let's finish our little loop here just so that
Yeah,
there's some
sorry.
semblance of arc because you're getting there. Like they get taken to the commons where, EO gets hung. It is devastating. The
Very
line
sad.
where he's like, the gravity on Mars is weak, so you have to pull their legs. They let the family do that, which
They
he,
let
I
the
think,
loved ones
repeats.
do it.
The loved ones do it. Yeah, they
Mhm.
repeat it twice.
Yeah.
He does it for her. He's super depressed, as we all would be, and he wants to bury her. He's hell bent on doing that in the garden. So, but that's a capital offense. So
Mhm.
he buries her, is immediately captured, and Uncle
Well,
Merrill,
he walks back. He walks back with Uncle Merrill, right?
and he drinks a very shady beverage.
Yeah, the Shady Bev.
And then he gets hung as well, and Uncle Neril pushes people aside to pull his feet, and then we're done.
And he
That's the
winks
end
at
of
him.
Part 1.
He
And
winks
get
at
a
him, and
little
then he
wink
gets a little winkety wink.
with his old decrepit face at
That's
35.
part 1. You're right.
And
Yeah.
that's part 1. Okay, continue.
Yeah,
I just wanted we
35.
started. I just want to
No,
finish
that
what we
makes
started.
sense.
Yeah.
And I think in this, we get like the things that the society uses to control them, right? Which is the laurel and the alcohol. Because it's not even native to them, but like that's basically all they fight for is to get laurels and then to drink.
And the hanging.
And
Yeah.
then-
Don't forget the hanging. I also
Yeah.
think you touched on this, Liz, which is like the internal power structure within the Reds. Like they're
Yes.
clearly not only just pitting them against each other, but sharing more information with some Reds than others. Like there's a
Right.
lot of infighting and like hierarchy within that color and within that clan of that color.
Yeah. And I think, right, like it's just like way for the society, I want to say government, but for the society to like keep power and control, right? Because if they're fighting amongst themselves, then they don't have time to think about the bigger picture. And they also like, I think Darragh had made a comment about, which was funny in retrospect, because he had made a comment about how, right, like Sons of Ares are just like, they don't like something, but now they're breaking the society, which is kind of pointless. But as we know, he also goes on, maybe.
Read on. Listen on to
Read
find
on,
out what
see
happens.
what happens.
Yeah.
The whole gamma thing is also so interesting to me because it's also one, as you said, it's a way that they control, right? But it's also, I think, a commentary on humanity as a whole, because you see aspects like that all the way up through to Gold, right? And to Augustus himself, right? And the Institute. Like, it's a similar setup there, right?
Yeah.
So
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Augustus yet? Or can we?
I think we can, right?
Yeah, we saw him.
That's another one where, like, I just want to hear. I just want to listen and learn.
I forgot that
What do
his
you guys
first name
think?
was Nero. I don't know
Yeah,
how.
Nero,
Yeah.
Al Augustus. I mean, he's perfectly described, right? Like poreless skin. How tall are Gold? 7 feet tall, 7.5 feet tall, right? So, like, if you're a red, having never seen a Gold except on the HC, for one to come into your space must be astonishing, right? And if this becomes a TV series and not a movie, Pierce, I don't know how they're going to demonstrate that, right? Obsidians are 8 feet tall.
Hey, if they could do Gandalf and all the hobbits, they could do this.
That's where my mind went as well. We figured it out for them.
Yeah. I was
Original
thinking
trilogy.
Animated, but
I think animated.
I know. We are all like
this
here
is
for an animated series.
I'm here for live action. I don't know why. I'm just here for a live action adaptation.
So expensive, right? Would you rather have 10 episodes a season or 6 live action?
Which would be most well done.
There's just a lot to portray as well.
Yeah, so
I think
much.
it would be easier with animation.
Yeah, we get really complicated as we get further into the books too, of like the sort of scale. I mean, Star Wars does it, but like
my battery's running low.
Oh no, look out.
I have a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
I have a question. There are a dozen others in his retinue, including another, Slider Gold, who seems his apprentice. He's even more beautiful than the Arch-Governor, and he appears to dislike the thin, womanish Gold. Who was with him? Are we supposed to assume it's his kids?
Oh, I've never thought about that.
It's got to be his kids, right?
So is
No
the
way.
Mustang a womanish Gold?
No, that doesn't make any sense. We would
and
know.
Also, yeah, because he says, like, later on in the book, the first time he ever says he saw Mustang was when she was riding. He doesn't make any note of her being the one that was there in Lycos. So, yeah, I guess they're just unnamed Golds.
Okay, just unnamed
Gold. I thought the unnamed Gold was, who was it? I don't want to spoil it, but I also don't remember his name. The helper that eventually...
The Lancer?
Pliny.
Oh, Pliny.
Yes, Pliny. I thought that's who it was.
Yeah.
And then the other one that doesn't there's the other.
Is the other Lancer? It's Pliny and the other Lancer.
Right.
The one
but
that
he's not a womanish. He's like he's a huge.
I think Pliny is the womanish one.
Pliny's not a Gold, is he?
He is.
Oh, I thought he was a silver.
No, he's a.
No, Pliny is Gold, but he's like he's not like fighter Gold.
Yeah, he's not. He's
a pixie.
Yeah,
he's a pixie.
Yeah, pixie.
Yeah, I think you got it there, and this is another thing we could ask Pierce if he comes on the podcast. Is that Pliny and what's the other Lancer's name? The one that was originally going to be his adopted son.
Yeah, his adopted son. I'm forgetting. That's book 2 though. Everybody.
Mm-hmm, yeah, but I think when I was rereading it, those were the ones I assumed were with Augustus. Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up.
It
would be
question,
weird,
Sam.
take your kid to work day. But I was just like, is this supposed to be...
I don't think it would be weird.
Really?
Maybe.
Right?
I didn't know if it was supposed to be very foreshadowy or if it was just a throwaway. And he didn't want to get into who the characters are.
I think it's neither. It's I think Liz got it there, but I do think for almost certain it's not Mustang and Adrius because they make it a point multiple times
they've never met.
They've never met, and also they're like, oh, the kids are scattered. They're not here until they come back for the Institute. So
and she's supposed to be really pretty, so womanish is an interesting way to describe it.
Right.
Yeah.
We do know that near Augustus has that scar though, the peerless
long
scar.
crescent scar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As does Octavia on the HC.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
And her sigils are like wings or something on her back.
Yeah, the gold.
Gold
wings.
Yeah.
The red is like a triangle,
circle.
like a dot with a
That's
right,
right.
that thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
How many
Yeah.
people do you think have tattoos of those?
Oh, a lot.
Very much.
Have I thought about one? I would get gold, though, obviously.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. It's like people who get Death Eater tattoos. It's like, what you
Yeah,
thinking, bud?
well,
Do you
I
have a
feel
Death
like-
Eater tattoo?
no.
I feel
Spoiler.
like not to rain on anyone's parade or be that person. I feel like getting a tattoo of the sigils is kind of missing the plot here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But they are cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But maybe
they're
they
cool.
just read books 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean-
So about the sigils, though. So we got sigils. We got eyes the color of our color. That's
Hair.
standard. Everybody
Hair
has eyes
as
the
well.
color of their color. But not
Yeah.
everybody has hair the color of their color. As Liz
Right.
pointed out, in the subsequent paragraph to what I just read, he says the greens have dark hair, not like their emerald
Right.
eyes.
Huh.
I think
Fierce.
the blues and grays also. I
Have-
feel like I think they're usually just bald or have their head shaved. But
I thought
that's a
grays
good
did
point.
have gray
I
hair.
think grays
Did
have
they?
their gray
Okay.
hair because Ugly
Yeah.
Dan is described
yeah.
as being tan, but still with like the gray hair and the eyes.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
teapot.
Spoiler. I'm trying to think how Trig and Holiday are described. Like in
well,
the third
one
book.
of them has like a buzz cut or like
Yeah.
a mohawk or something.
Mm.
So that they might not have a lot of hair to show for it.
Fair.
But skin color is another thing that is a little bit iffy because like sometimes I feel like they describe pinks as having pink skin. Am I wrong about
Seems
that?
that way. I think it's just because pinks are always described as, I don't know, like supple and
Yeah, maybe they just mean like
yeah.
pink. But then this is a jump ahead to spoiler alert for part 2.
Let me
When
mark
we
it.
were when they were describing, he was describing beautiful on one side, hideous on the other side.
Harmony.
Oh.
When he was describing Harmony, he says at first that her beautiful side is like milky white. She's more beautiful than Io is. And then he later describes her hands as red. So I'm like, what are we talking about here about? Like her red hands.
Maybe her
you-
sigils.
Have the
Are
four
the
of you read?
sigils
Maybe.
colored?
I think
And
the
so-
sigils are colored.
So maybe he's just generalizing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
either.
also, like, we know with gold there is variation, right? Like, we know that not all golds have gold skin. We have
Mhm.
seen
But
many
do
of them
some?
described.
That's my question. Or I don't
Mhm.
think they do. I think they have just
I don't
like
think so either.
Oh, so it's their sigils that are the color. I don't think I ever actually put that together
Mhm.
of like what I don't think I thought more of their skin. Yeah.
But Apollonius is dark skinned, gold,
right.
gold
Um,
hair.
Yeah, that whole
Yeah, Aja as well.
Yeah.
Aja.
Right, Aja, yeah.
But also on the flip side, obsidians are clearly always described as being really pale. So that's
Yeah.
interesting.
yeah,
Um,
it's anyway. I just
The
like
blues-
dark.
I don't think so. I think
Obsidians are-
it might be in the second series.
okay, then
Mm.
Yeah.
But
I know who you're thinking of.
Mm.
I don't think blues, like, they just have a lot of tattoos, don't they? Like math tattoos.
They have blue tattoos.
Blue
But
math
those are-
tattoos.
Oh wait, those are like added to them though. Those are not
Yeah.
endemics.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was another thing that threw me off because I'm like, but blues are covered in like blue tattoos, but they literally get them. They are tattoos.
So at the very least, it's sigils and eye color.
Yeah. Okay. Sigils and eye
Maybe
color.
sometimes
That's
hair
helpful.
color.
Sometimes
Maybe
hair.
hair,
Because the
Yes,
reds all have red
hair.
hair.
but not green,
Mhm.
obviously.
But that sounds like it's coming. Okay, this is actually making more sense because I'm like, the red hair is coming more from the fact that like they're an isolated group of people. That's why they all look the same. Whereas like golds,
they're of Irish descent.
yeah, exactly. Like,
And in Mars.
and in
Yeah.
the golds, you can kind of see how like different people with different like races and like family groups just exist. It's just the fact that they're all gold. But
So here's a question. Do we ever hear the hair color of a red on another planet described as red? Because, I mean, it would make sense for the reds on Mars to have red hair because the red soil of Mars. Is that a Mars-specific thing, or is that actually reds have red hair?
I don't know.
I think
I
so.
don't-
I feel like that's
I'll just
universal.
keep an eye
right?
out for it. Well, thank you
Sure.
guys. I honestly think the fact, like, I was like, how are these people
I don't
telling each
actually
other
know.
apart without eye color? Because I forgot about the sigils. So, like, and how did the sigils get there?
I think they're given, right, after birth.
Okay.
That's kind of unclear.
The sigil thing clears it up most of this question
It-
for me. Because I'm like, I
it-
just wear color contacts, but whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's unclear until future books, second
Okay.
Second series.
trilogy.
Second
yeah.
series. Wow.
I don't
missed
know
all
about that. Actually, I don't know.
Because
They might be born with them.
no, Nick, spoiler.
Well, because Darrow
But
also
they're-
has his removed.
Yes,
In the third book, he has
that's
his
true.
removed.
Yeah,
Too, so.
Oh, yeah.
and he's given the gold.
Wow.
Spoiler. And he's
How
given
has
the
all of this
sigil.
escaped me? This,
I'm
like,
gonna mark
all
it
these
again.
books. This is just like completely.
You said this is
escaped
your
my
first
notice.
reread, Sam?
Yeah.
I feel
And
like that's the thing. It takes. I feel like it takes 2 reads to really
Like,
have
get
a
it.
book. Yeah.
I'm on read 4. I'm not getting all of it.
I used to be a meticulous reader, and then I read Game of Thrones, and I remember just deciding to change my approach to reading. I was
Mm.
like, if George wants me to know something, he's going to tell me again right before it happens, and I'm just going to trust every author to do that. And if they don't, I'm going to miss the thing and be okay with it, because there was just too much to keep track of in that series. So that's my like philosophy towards reading now, which could be why I miss such critical detail.
That's fair.
All right. So anyway, Nero Augustus appears, is effectively a god to Darrow.
So
Mhm.
blinding.
But a mean one. He doesn't like
Yeah.
it.
A mean one.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
He was
cruel.
so dismissive of Eo's death, and he like made that comment about, oh, just let her go on. We'll just remove it from the
Yeah, we'll edit in
HC
post.
anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I think it was such a great introduction to gold and gold mentality, because
Mhm.
it's just like right off the bat, there's no like gray area. Like they do not see lower colors,
Mhm.
particularly the lowest color, as humanity at all.
And that's
So I thought that was a good setup.
that's the thing. He's not like purposely cruel. It's
Right.
just that's
Right.
the
Like,
way they
worse
view
For
Reds.
him, he's just
Yeah.
not thinking of it. Yeah. It's crazy. That's wild.
Darrow gets tortured. He gets whipped
Mm-hmm.
however many
Oh,
times,
wait.
and he's grateful when Ugly Dan like saves him,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
we haven't even talked. We've like basically 10 minutes left, but you're getting here, Craig. But like Darrow's journey from, we don't see the end until part 2, or not the end, but like we don't see him turn right into like, I want to take down anything, like,
Right.
but we see a lot of like resistance, and not just resistance, but like flat out like Eo's a little bit on the nuts end. I love her, but like obedience is the way to go. Like he's full blown into that. And I just want to hear what you all think of that.
Yeah.
Well, Darrow admits that he starts parroting early in part 1 to EO some of the stuff that he hears on the HC, right? And that's when we see her say you're a slave.
Yeah.
Nick is.
Darrow is very American.
Oof.
Oh.
Speak on it.
It's the yeah, this sucks, but what are we gonna do about it? Like, yeah, we want things to be different, but
this is
really,
how
can
it
we
is.
really? Yeah, exactly, right? It's
Mm.
this. He knows it sucks. He knows their life is, but he's trying to make the best of it because he doesn't see another way. He doesn't believe there is a chance for another way, and also there's this larger question that I think fits in with any type of revolution. It's, do I really want to give up the comfort of what I know for this
The
thing
unknown,
that-
which could be
exactly.
worse.
It could be
Relevant in
worse.
2026.
Yeah.
And
Listener.
so that's where it's just like, I think Darrow is very real
Yeah.
for all the ways that EO becomes the martyr, for all the ways that she becomes this symbol and everything. I feel like Darrow is very rooted in how a lot of people are going to feel in a situation like that, right?
Because even
And
up
it's-
until her doing her whole thing, he's in through it. He's trying to damage control within the system. Like at no
Exactly.
point is he trying to be in solidarity with her. He's just trying to
And
like,
it literally takes him dying to say, all right, fine, I'm in. And I think it's also so interesting because I know as the reader, we're all rooting for him to be like, hey, take this down, break the chains. She's telling you that. And he's so hesitant to give in to that. And I think a lot of people can feel that, right?
I mean, but it's also a matter of being truly powerless,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Like, what are you going to do against a 7-foot tall
Right.
gold,
And I
God.
think,
right?
right,
Yeah.
like he doesn't know there's a world outside of the mines. Like he's like his whole life, his whole world is the mines. Like, and when I think like as a reader too, when he saw like the star, you think that'd be like an aha moment. Oh, like, oh my God, there's more that I like. Why can't we have this all the time? But I think it feeds into him after like his quote unquote death, right? But I think like, right, as he's in there, it's sort of like you have to have like this blind faith in the saying that there is more out there. Like the Ares was never able to show, at least it didn't seem that Ares ever showed them like that there's more as they like infiltrated like the system or anything like that. So all he knows is like, it's just this mind. If I fight, well, they would just kill me, and then what?
And then he could never return to the garden. Like his whole, he was motivated to return to the garden, and the only way he knew how was to like, keep Io and himself alive.
There's the other thing is he doesn't want to believe it, right? Like you're faced with this cruel reality that you don't want to believe. You just want to go back to living your life that it was peaceful enough for you, right? And so I think it's just one of those things where it's like, oh no, don't tell me that's true, don't. And it's like holding off on that until you can hold off on it no longer. I think that's just very real.
That's true. He is big on like family. I think it expands more later to like not just his family, but now like Red is family. And then that's, I think, what it also adds to his fight. Yeah.
And we can talk about that next time because there's a lot of trying to convince him that like Reds are like his people. Like he doesn't identify with his people at all, which I think is so fascinating. So yeah. And when he does eventually change his mind in part 2, it like takes seeing the system from the outside, which he doesn't have the opportunity to do down there. But I just like really identify with the like obedience sort of struggles as like a former good girl, like rule follower. Like I think that the scene where he's like still in damage control mode while she's like doing her thing up on like the gallows is so heartbreaking because he like, you can feel the tension inside of him. Like he wants to support her, but he truly doesn't believe that that's an outcome that he wants to go to. But it's a foregone conclusion. Like she's gonna die at that point. And he just can't accept it.
Man,
so hard.
When she calls to give her final words to Dio and not him.
Heartbreak.
I love that part.
Yeah, and it's telling that they still didn't tell him, even as he was like dying.
Yeah, can you tell me what do we find out what the last words are? And I forgot.
Not until book.
It's the spoiler I texted in the chat.
Yeah.
That was the okay.
Yeah, but they still like even when he asked for what it was, as he knew that he was going to get killed, his mom was like,
she said she loved you or something like that. Yeah.
I also identify that though with like a sister I'm really close to. Like, sorry to my like partner, but like I love my sister too.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So,
but
like,
I feel like Io probably didn't tell Darrow because then he would just die for nothing. I mean, I guess he still did, but
he does anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this comes to my next question was going to be, why didn't she tell him when he was dying? If she thought he was dying, like, did she know something more that he wasn't dying, or is it really just sparing him that additional pain in their mind?
I guess it must have been because I'm also like, if Io's trying to be a martyr, which she is, right? At that point when she's on the gallows, she knows she's going to die. She's trying to be a martyr. It's kind of like a better story to like allude to the child while you're up there. But maybe she didn't want to hurt Darrow by telling him that for the first time up there.
But it's surprising because she knows Darrow and she knows he's hot-headed.
Yeah.
So what is she expecting him to do after she's hung at the gallows and knowing that he has to break her, neck?
Right.
Yeah. Do you think she expected him to like join the song with her at that time?
No.
This is where I come back to. I think she's a little bit overrated here. I don't think she.
Pierce Brown to clarify for us.
Yeah, Pierce.
Like we hear so many times throughout the books about Io's vision, Io's dream. It's like, what was it?
What was it?
Break the chains.
Break the chains was the dream.
And again, that's also very American in the opposite way. It's just like, hey, let's break all this. It's like, how? How? What do you? Okay, what actionable items do we have here? What do you expect us to do?
She's a martyr. That's not for her to figure out.
That's true.
Her vision for Darrow was very opaque, and I feel like with her being alive, she could have gotten him there. Like, it seems like when they talk, this is one of the first times she's really pushing him. And I'm like, you're not going to expect him to say yes on the first try. Like, let's like draw this out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't mean to I don't mean to play both sides, but I'm going to real quick because I also don't think there's any chance Darrow becomes what he is if she's still alive.
That's
I
that
do
was
think
my
she's the
leaning
catalyst.
too. Yeah. Because I think that like she knows him so well because he's always like, I'm living for you. Like my family, you, all of this. So I don't think that if she were alive, he would have made any like,
So true.
he wouldn't be this Darrow. I think she like knew him enough to know that like she had to die to really like pick
Then
him.
I realize this is a story about Darrow and he's the main character.
Yeah.
And does she just think he's like, she really thinks he's the guy who's gonna like be their lead?
I think so.
Like, what is her
Yeah.
vision and why does she have the confidence in him just
I
because
don't
he's
think
like
so.
brash? Like, he can't be the first like brash guy. I mean, it seems like the Sons of Ares wanted him too. What are they seeing in him? They're
She
just seeing
says
that he
that, like,
takes risks.
People follow him. I don't know how
He's a natural
they say that,
follower.
but she does say like
leader.
people look to you to react and to like, you know, to make moves. You don't quite, Pierce doesn't go into it, and at least I didn't see it. But like that's sort of like everybody's mentality about Darrow is that like, yeah, they just know he's like smarter. He's like a
Could have
leader.
used a little bit more of that,
Yeah.
I guess, development to believe it.
Well, I think you get it. And
Okay.
I think you get it in a very interesting way that I love. And I have to jump forward in the books a little bit, but in the third book, when Mustang comes back, she's like, I need to know that I can follow you. I need you to show me that I can follow you. And I think we see it through her eyes, what EO knew from the beginning. And I think the questions you bring up, like, how does she know it's going to be him? It's like, how do any of us know it's going to be him? But clearly it was, right?
Yeah, and I think this is a very POV rooted story. And as Darrow, you wouldn't be like, everybody follows me. Like, that's not his arc, right? Like, he doesn't see it maybe. And so we don't see it because we're looking at the world more through his eyes. And we just have to trust that, like,
We see the arc, right? In book one. Like, by the end of book one.
I'm just saying in part one, what's the evidence that like the Sons of Ares, like at one point in part two, gosh, I keep jumping ahead, but like Dancer says like, Neril kept you a secret. And if we would have known earlier, we'd have been targeting you earlier and we've had our eye on you ever since. Why'd Neril keep him a secret? Like why did they think he was target? And I guess it comes back to this. Like, I agree with you all. It's because he seems like a natural born leader. We just don't see him really as a natural born leader. We see him more as like a running back, to use a sports metaphor. I'm ill-equipped to use. I'm very ill-equipped to use. But like he's running the plays and he's like making the TD.
Yeah, but he's not quarterback.
But he's not calling the shots. No, if anything, he's disobeying orders in order to do it.
What a good metaphor, Sam.
That's the last sports metaphor you'll ever hear me make. I know nothing about sports.
But I think it's also, this is a great point because I think it's the way he's disobeying that maybe Io did see in him. Maybe he was her vision as much as he tried, like they try to say she was like, live for more, all this other stuff. Maybe it was him because he disobeys in all the ways he needs to. And I mean, look at the juxtaposition between him and, again, jumping ahead, Titus. There's a reason they went different ways. And I think we see this transformation of the Sons of Ares see Darrow as a tool, right?
Yeah.
And Io and later Mustang, and they see him as more than that tool, as the leader, which I think that's the important thing there. So maybe you've convinced me that Io is not overrated here.
There's a great quote in Casino Royale, the 007 movie, where M says to James Bond, like, I need you to be, you can't just be a hitman. And James Bond responds, do you want me to be a monk and a hitman? Right? Darrow is a battering ram in the beginning, part one. And we see it with the claw drill, and we see it with him going down and not being patient or, interested in listening to his elders. And we see it also jumping ahead.
Yeah.
We see it in the, what's the name of the institution?
The Academy?
Not the Academy.
Oh.
When he's on, running the fields of Mars with his squad.
It's the Institute.
I think it's
The
the
Institute.
Yeah.
Is that what I
What's the
said?
name of that institution?
What's the name? So his arc, book one, is he's a battering ram. And then we see him start to sort of transition and get
into leader mode.
And we see him
struggle with being in leader mode and wanting to be a battering ram the entire
His rage
series.
Yeah. I don't know. I think going back to Sam's point, I think maybe Nero hid him from Ares because he was just still too young. I mean, he taught him how to dance so that he could be better and like more, I took it more as like being more able to navigate like tough situations, right? Both in real life and part of like the drill. So maybe he was just trying to like build him up more in that time.
Yeah.
Than,
it's so important to remember how young they are because it's so easy to forget. And I think Neril is fascinating. I want to like continue. We learn more about him in the future, do we not?
A little bit.
Yes,
a little bit. I was very disappointed.
He's pretty pivotal in the third book.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like he's so interesting. I mean, I just want to know. I want a like side character book just about him and like how did he get linked in with the Sons of Ares? I want to see like I want a full description of like how the dancing revolution started, happened, and ended.
Dance Revolution.
The Dance Revolution.
Why like Darrow's father thought Nero was like so great and like smart and so it's like
like he's clearly an amazing dude who is now an alcoholic and who through Darrow's point of view is like a washed up old drunk and it's like no, this guy's pretty awesome.
And see, that's another really fun part for me is because by all accounts for us in part one he's this washed up drunk too, right? But we learn slowly that he's not, and I think it's something just like Darrow says, the first thing you should know about me, I'm my father's son. Well, Neril was his father's brother. It was there the whole time. Like there's no way they could be that much different, And I think that's just another great little nugget that was left for everyone too.
Well, I think it's important for us to see that I am my father's son. His dad dies Dance Revolutioning.
Dance Revolutioning.
Neril is cautioning him against being brash down in the mines. We think at the time it's because he's just an old man, 35. Turns out Neril's got a lot more going on and is concerned for Darrow's safety.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting chills. I just think he's such an interesting character.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a lot going on behind the scenes.
And like the first line of the book is one thing you should know about me is I'm my father's son. He doesn't talk about his dad all that much.
No, like
that's like an interesting first sentence to start off this like huge saga.
And never mention him again.
Yeah.
Well, look at it the other way. Yeah. He's telling you everything about his father by saying he's his father's son.
Please expand.
Well, I mean, if he's
what's
saying
there to say?
if the first thing you should know about me is I'm my father's son, what he's saying is that all my exactly. It's all of this can tell you more about who my father was too.
The first thing you should know about my father is I'm his son.
There you go. Yeah.
Not as compelling.
Yeah.
And that's it. We won't talk about him again. Moving on.
Though, I was surprised that his mom like beat him for not crying at his father's like hanging, because I would have thought just like the way that she is described and like shown even all throughout that would not have been the action she would have taken. She would have been more like like stoic and so that was an interesting.
So when Darrow is reminiscing on his dad dying, he remembers little Io, who was just, I don't know, 11, 10, 9, 8, running out and putting a Hemanthus in front of the door. Right? So
queen.
Yeah. So how old is Darrow when this is happening, when his dad dies? Maybe his dad wasn't around very long, is what I'm trying to say.
I think his dad, he was 11.
I think he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't he and Io the
that.
same age?
Yeah.
Io's younger because she has to wait to marry. She has to come of age in order to marry Darrow.
She has to wait for him to come of age because she was 14, but she was waiting for him to come of age of 16.
Oh, you're right.
We were wrong earlier because here it says, I've been in the mines for 3 years. You start at 13, old enough to screw, old enough to crew.
And then got married only 6 months ago.
Yes. Didn't get married till 6 months back, so I don't know why he said it.
Okay. How would you, to sort of wrap this up, how would you rate part 1 out of what, 5?
5 Reaper.
5 being, yeah.
5 Reaper hooks.
I think I missed that whole Reaper part because, right, like when he becomes the Reaper, I was like, oh, that is the connection there, yeah. But I would rate part 1 after, like, right, knowing what happens and looking back at it. I think it was great, like, explains a lot of like the way that he moves and stuff. So I would rate it a 4. I think it was really good.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think I'd stick with a 3 here. Both because it on its own, I felt like it wasn't. I mean, I guess the last 5-10, like the last chapter or 2 of it is very compelling, but the story itself is. If it were all like that, I wouldn't have kept reading, right? And I don't want to ignore that, but I do also see how important it is and how many themes it sets up and how much it sets up too. So I think it's kind of hard to rate. Out of context, a 3. In context, yeah, I'd say probably a 4.
Okay.
Because it's much better on a reread for sure.
Yeah.
When I first read it, I think I'd give it like a 2. I had no idea. I was so lost, and I was
No, I
trying
agree.
to hold on to so much information because the world building is like it's so fresh. But I'm like enthusiastic. The chapter we're on is the chapter that's going to be my favorite, guys. So probably like a 5 on reread. I'm just like so happy to be in it. And there was so much I missed because I was not like engaged that reading it the second time, I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually enjoy it. Like I don't have to think so hard because I understand the world already and I'm picking up on all the little cues.
Wait, so what did you give it, Sam?
Like a 5? Like a 4.9?
A 2
know,
on the initial and then a 5 on the reread.
I worry, and I want to warn you in advance, every time I'll probably be like, well, this has to be a 6 because I rated the last one a 5 and now I like this better. Like, I don't,
that's what I was going to say.
I think my floor is just like...
That's what I was going to say is first time, if you're a new reader and you read it, I agree. I think it's low. However, as a repeat reader, I think you also have to rate it low because the highs get so high.
So high.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to give some
trust you on
spoilers,
that.
I feel like we need to set some bars right here. Some like these are 5-star scenes.
You need to drop
like,
some bars.
For one, we've already
Go ahead, Nick.
Go ahead, drop your bars.
we've already said we're spoiling the first trilogy, but a solid 5 is the duel with Cassius. 100%. Like that is a 5-star scene.
In
Book 2.
the way?
Yeah,
That's
in book 2,
In book
his
2?
duel with Cassius,
That's a
where he's
5.
like,
yes.
where
Yeah.
he's like, while you were sleeping, I was training. While you were like, I was training.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
he
like,
cuts
oh
off
my
his
God.
cuts off his arm without looking over his head, you know?
Oh,
I think
that
I
is-
love Golden Sun. I was thinking about that while I was reading this. I was like, shoot, is that Golden Sun like my favorite book?
It's incredible.
Wait, I also
It's
had
such
that
a good
thought. That's crazy because I still love Morning Star, right? But after rereading the first trilogy, I think I was like, wait, so many good things happen in Golden Sun. Like a lot of good things. Yeah.
Him shooting himself across space through the bridge. That's at least a 6 out of 5, right?
The freaking Iron Rain.
Oh,
yeah. Darrow calls for an Iron Rain. Also
Oh my
5.
God.
Okay, so
in that,
So
when
you're
now
rating
what's
for it.
how many?
no, I totally agree with y'all's more measured approach. That this would be like 4-ish, 3.5 to 4 compared to like the other stuff.
We can put the average at the end. Like, okay, this averages to part 1.
I
don't know that we'll know until we get through all of them, like where it all lands.
I think it's worth saying though that that's sort of what we've all been describing about part 1 of Red Rising. You have to do that for so many books.
Yep. That's
always
true.
like Brandon Sanderson Way of Kings. You have to get through 200 pages before you're like, oh, I love this.
In this series alone, I think this is 3, right? Like this book, this whole book is like, we got to set up the world and we acknowledge that. And it's doing that wonderfully, but it's not the peak of this series at all.
No, it's not. But all
not.
it takes in Red Rising is part 1. If you get through part 1, I think you're hooked.
Then you're in.
It does
right.
hook you. Everybody like that I know that have read the book, like breeze through Red Rising after they get through like that first part. It's just so easy to like just go through.
Well, the pace is astonishing.
Yeah.
After part 1.
So much action.
Yeah. Which is, I think, what Pierce does best. Better than any author I've ever read is like, you do not for a moment after part 1 feel like there's empty space and filler. Pierce talks about this on another podcast.
Do you feel grossed out? Sure. Do you feel devastated?
Sure.
Like
well,
you
it's not
can't go
Dungeon
on?
Crawler Carl grossed out, you know?
No. Yeah.
Is that gross?
I don't know. Book 4, I had moments of, I mean, it was all very instructive and all very like good. But I did struggle a bit with that one to begin with. I don't know.
Wait, with Dungeon Crawler Carl?
Sorry, no.
Book 4
with
of
book 4 of this series.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I found some we'll get to all
Yeah.
of that
We'll
on
get to all of
another
it.
day. But
Yeah.
it took me like a year to read Dark Age for various reasons. But
Oh,
that's a tough read.
That was a
But that's for a different day.
that's for a different day. In this series, I'm dreading getting to the Julian scene.
Oh, I'm
I
so
don't
excited
know
to get
if
there.
I'm going to drop off this podcast at that point. I don't know.
I need your opinion.
I don't know if I can read that again. That is my least favorite part of
It is very sad.
It is, yeah.
It's sad and weird and gross and jarring.
But that's gold, right?
That's
kind of the point. That's gold.
And it leads to the conflict.
It's like, let's quality
the
control
next-
human beings.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah. And you got to have that like, oh shit, that's my best friend's brother. What are we going to do for chapters and chapters and chapters?
Okay, this may be like, because I was going to say, I wonder who his original partner would have been.
Was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all planned out ahead of time, right?
Was there ever an original one, or was it always going to be Julian?
We can get to that. Now we're skipping up to part 3,
now we're
I
skipping ahead.
think.
Yeah, okay, no more skipping. Craig, give your rating of book 1, part 1.
2.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, I love it, but again,
we gotta look at
to
everything else, right?
to everything else,
Yeah.
you got to get through part 2, and that's what we say to new readers is like get through part 1.
And there are certainly other parts of the books where it's like even on the first read they're amazing. On the first read, this one is not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
I agree with
True.
that.
Facts.
Truth.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Okay.
hopefully, like the first part, the ending of this podcast hooks everyone too. And by everyone, I mean Pierce Brown.
I'm already like, we need to re-record our last one we did, our intros, because it's going to be like part 1, book 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody. Have great days. We'll see
Have
you
a great
later.
day. Bye.
Join us next week as we find out what lies in the veil for Darrow. Spoiler, nothing yet, and carve our way out the other side. We'll see how the first part of Red Rising was just like the Bubble Garden, a whole lot of misdirection and recycled air. Nick tries to convince Sam that the passage was actually a good thing, and was more than just a dystopian murder dungeon. We'll also talk about the anatomy of an earworm as we hear the people singing the Song of Persephone. Once again, if you're Pierce Brown, or anyone else, and you'd like to tell us how wrong we are, you can reach us at thehowlerbookclub@gmail.com or find us on Instagram @Red Rising Book Club. Thanks for doing the Reaping Dance with us, and see you next time.